Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions video for May 31st through June 4th, 2021. Okay, and what I'll do here is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs, okay, on a 30-minute time frame, okay, using MetaTrader here, and I'm going to do that just so we can see what happened this past week, okay, and then I will try to compare that to higher time frames such as the 4-hour daily and weekly charts. And then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with, we're starting to begin to see signs that the U.S. dollar is finally having a correction and is finally going back up. Okay, the last 2 months or so, the U.S. dollar has been dropping. Okay, it tanked. We had a beginning of the year, we had a big surge, and then it pulled back, and now it's finally going back up again. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Okay, so it's definitely getting ready to be a good time to start buying the U.S. dollar. Okay, now conversely, the euro, Australian dollar, British pound, all of those are starting to go down. Okay, so if the U.S. dollar goes up, those other ones go down. Okay, so if we look right here on the chart I have pulled up here, I have euro USD. Okay, for the most part, it was in a flat range of market. Okay, the price ended almost exactly where it began, but we see here there was a big drop here on Friday. Okay, and then a spike back up. But overall, we had the price went up here. Okay, hit this high point and has not recovered. Okay, so to me, it looks like it's going to keep going down. Now, if we look here on the 4-hour chart, let's look at the higher time frames. Okay, this is fundamental here. Okay, we see the price is definitely getting ready to drop. Okay, if we look right here, Friday had a big drop and then a spike back up, so there's a lot of market volatility. But the fact is that we have a strong signal to sell, and it's definitely dropping. Okay, now it spiked back up on Friday, and you see the current candle here is starting to drop a little bit. So to me, that is going to keep dropping. Okay, that's a good sign. If we look at the daily chart, again, we get a very, very high point finally, and the indicator is not repainted, and this came in like Tuesday or something. So definitely this past week we hit a high point on the daily chart, which is what we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this for the past few weeks. Okay, so you know, that's a very, very good sign. And then we look at the weekly chart, again we see a signal to sell, so we know that yes, now is the time to sell. Okay, so all indicators are showing you to sell. So what you can do this week is, if you go to the smaller time frames, like the 1 hour shows the buy, right, 30-minute shows the buy. Okay, we already see the price went up and starting to come back down a little bit, but it has not formed a red arrow yet. So it's probably, even though it's dropping right this very minute, it's probably going to go up a little bit higher. Okay, it's not going to go up that much higher because everything's showing to drop. Okay, so we already have a strong resistance right here, but we have a slightly higher resistance right here. Okay, that would probably be the place where it will form a red arrow. Okay, do not quote me on that, but that is most likely where it would be. What you can do is put a sell limit pending order right there if you want. Okay, that'd be a good idea, and catch it when it drops back down. All right, do not put it right on that green line, but slightly below. Okay, put a sell limit pending order, and you could put like a 300 or 400 point take profit. Okay, so also, you know, what I feel, if you want, is keep your charts here on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, and you'll be able to both buy and sell, meaning open a trade on one signal and close it on the opposite. Okay, and just keep repeating that process. Okay, now right now, it's, you know, his signal to buy, would not buy right now. Okay, wait until you get a sell signal and then place a trade. Okay, with the fact that the price is getting ready to drop, I would probably look for sell opportunities only. Okay, I think the market is going to be more or less in a range of market. Okay, we're not going to see significant drops. You know, there's just no way. What we're going to see this week is a slow and steady trickle downhill. Okay, if that makes any sense. So do look out, for the price to drop more than the price to go up. Okay, so if you want to sell only, that would probably be a good idea. Although you can both buy and sell, because there will be spikes back up like this right here. So you're going to see these spikes up and down, but overall the price should be dropping steadily, gradually this week. Now moving on to GBP USD. Okay, now both of these are very strong currencies. Okay, GBP is probably one of the strongest currencies in the world, next to the US dollar. Okay, so again, you see here the price actually ended higher than where it began. Okay, so this should be dropping. Okay, we're going to show you the higher time frames here in a second, but you see that this high point is higher than this one, so that's different than what we saw here in Euro USD. Okay, the price was actually dropping. Here the price is actually gaining. Okay, so US dollar is gaining also. So right now it's kind of like, may the best woman win, right? May the best currency pair win. Okay, this is a fight to the death almost. So anyhow, what is going to happen this week? Okay, if we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have this sell signal which came in last week actually, okay, and has not really dropped. The price has been running sideways. It's been running sideways for the last couple weeks. Okay, that's okay, because that generally signifies there's getting ready to be a reversal in the market. So if we zoom out to the daily chart, okay, look at this daily chart. Okay, we had a big surge up, and then the price hit a high point here, but then the price dropped back down, slowly trickled back up, hit the same high point again. Now this is nice because the indicator has not repainted, okay, and has not formed another sell signal. Okay, so that's a good sign that this will be dropping. If we take a horizontal line and mark this high point right here, okay, we see we are at that level of resistance already. Okay, so it should be dropping now. Okay, I'm gonna say should, don't quote me on that. Okay, people want to say, oh, you said it was going to drop and it didn't drop. Well, there's always a chance it could go higher. I don't know. Okay, but I seriously doubt it's going to go any higher, because the US dollar is gaining as well. If we look here on the weekly chart, we see almost the same identical thing. Okay, just a little bit broader picture here, but basically we've hit a very, very strong level of resistance, and it should be dropping. Right now is definitely a good time to want to sell the GBP USD, because like I said, it's definitely getting ready to drop. So what do we do this week? Okay, well, we already see that if I go to the 30-minute chart and zoom out a little bit, we see here that boom, it's been riding sideways for for the last week or two, right? And what I think is going to happen this week, we're going to see a continuation of that. Okay, we're going to see more or less a range of market, but we're going to see it start to decline. We're going to start to see it drop. Okay, and right now we have a signal to sell on the 30-minute time frame, so it looks like a good time to sell. The price went down, back up, and now it's getting ready to come down again. Do not place any trades, whether you're on the Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD. Do not place any trades until, well, actually any currency pair. I would not place any trade until at least the London session on Monday. Okay, now with USD pairs, I typically would like to wait until the New York session begins on Monday to get a good analysis of what the market is doing. And so this week for GBP USD, I do feel it was safe to both buy and sell, because let's face it, both these currency pairs are strong, and more or less we're going to see a range of market, but with a slight slight downtrend, if you will. So definitely you can both buy and sell with this one. Moving on to AUD USD. Okay, now this one ended slightly lower than where it began, but we had a spike up and then it start looks like it's starting to slowly trickle back down. Okay, so, but what I think is going to happen this week, we're probably going to see a continuation of this. Probably going to start seeing a slow and steady downtrend. Okay, and we look at it in the 4-hour chart. Okay, and get a little bit bigger picture of what's going on. Okay, now the price hit this low point now. Okay, so the price drop finally hit that low point we were looking for last week, and which it never hit. Now it finally hit that low point here on the 4-hour chart. So this is why I'm thinking it's going to be just another continuation of a flat range of market. Okay, right now it's predicted to go up. You see here it's been riding sideways for the last couple of weeks anyways. Okay, and if we look here on the daily chart, look at this. Okay, look at the daily chart. It shows to go up. We have not hit a high point on the daily chart. Okay, and the weekly chart shows to go down. So yeah, it's a little bit confusing, right? But the thing is, we have a high point right here. Okay, and that is where the price needs to hit. That's where the price needs to hit. Problem is the US dollar is gaining. So is it going to hit this high point and form a red arrow there? I don't know. Okay, it's possible not. I don't know. But right now the 4-hour shows to buy, 1 hour shows to buy, 30 minutes shows to buy. So everything is looking like it's going to go up right now in the short term. What I think is going to happen is, if we look here on the 4-hour chart, like I was showing you, you know, we see everything in the flat range market. Right now it's predicting to go back up. So the first half of the week we should see the price go up, and then by the latter half of the week the price should come back down, and probably more than likely the price is going to end higher than where it began. Okay, I'm not you know, a fortune teller. Okay, I cannot predict the future accurately, or else I'd be a gazillionaire. But you know, it is what it is. I think we're going to see mostly a flat range of market with this. Okay, like I said, because both these currencies are strong, and you know, right now it's showing to go up, but US dollar is going up. So which one's going to go up more than the other? I don't know. So when you get in that situation, it's actually a good time to trade, because you have a lot of highs and lows, and if you trade on a smaller time frame, like a 15-minute or 30-minute time frame, you can get a lot of good buy and sell opportunities. Okay, you just got to keep checking your computer or phone every 4 or 5 hours. Okay, you don't have to be glued to it constantly, but I would set some reminders on your phone to check your phone every so often. Okay, and see what's going on, and look for your trade alerts. So if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame like this, you should be able to both buy and sell this week. Right now it looks like a good time to buy, and like I said before, wait until at least the London session and you should be perfectly fine. All right, so next is the US dollar. Finally we get into the US dollar. So this is USD CHF, US dollar versus Swiss franc, and again we see here that we had mostly a range of market this past week, but the price did end slightly higher than where it began, and this past Friday we saw a surge in the US dollar. Okay, so that indicates to me that this is going to be going up long term. Okay, that is getting ready to go into an uptrend. If you look here on the 4-hour chart, we see that yes, it hit this very, very low point, and it's finally starting to go back up. That's what we've been waiting for the last couple of months, for this thing to finally hit this freaking bottom. So hopefully it's not going to drop any again, although it could, we don't know. But as of right now, it looks like it's definitely getting ready to go back up. I'm going to show you something real quick. If we zoom out a little bit, and I'd go from this point here and draw down, I think like this is what I was looking at earlier. Okay, this point right here is kind of broke a little bit, but if we look at this trend line coming down, we have all these high points. I can zoom in slightly so you can see this. What happens is there's no perfect way to show you this, but when you have a resistance like this, okay, anytime a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. Okay, and so what happened here is the resistance was finally broken, and like I always said before, wait until you have a few candles break above that before you place a trade. And whenever resistance is broken, it becomes a support. So you see the price went up here, okay, it broke the resistance, became a support, and dropped and hit that support, and is now bouncing back off that support. Okay, so right now is a good time to buy. Okay, as a matter of fact, you probably could place a trade right now and just leave it, but for all intents and purposes, I would wait until the New York session begins on Monday to see what the market is doing. Okay, so it's definitely looking like a good time to buy, although the daily chart has no blue arrow. Okay, it has no blue arrow yet. That is unfortunate. If we look at the weekly chart, it shows the buy, but see, the thing is, the price has been dropped so much. Okay, it dropped much more than I ever thought it would. When we had this point here, this resistance, I could have sworn that would be as low as the price would go, and you see it dropped a lot lower. Where it is right now is right here, which is basically the resistance right here. Okay, we have a support. So, and like I said before, if it does break right here, the next point is right here, which is where we're at now. Okay, you already hit that point, and it's bouncing off of that. Okay, now the question is, will it drop more? There is no blue arrow. Okay, that's the frustrating thing. If I extend this trend line out here and mark that, doesn't really make any sense, but it's possible. But you know, if you look at this right here, this is not going to be good. It looks better on the 4-hour chart. You can see it a little clearer on the 4-hour chart, but you know, if you look at this, it makes a lot more sense. Okay, when you have a resistance like that and it breaks and forms a support. So to me, the price is going to be going up definitely this week. Okay, maybe in the next few weeks it might drop again. But one thing also to note is that this coming Friday is the non-farm payroll, okay, NFP, and we have a expected good report with the US dollar. They're expected to have a drop in the unemployment rate, okay, which is good. Now the rate of unemployment is expected to go up, so that's 50-50. Okay, so right now it's kind of a prediction, I guess. We don't know. It's like you're expecting the US dollar to go up. That would correlate to what's happening right now. Hopefully we have a good job report and the US dollar will be rebounding and going up long term. And also, in addition, you know, the US government is pushing to pass a 4th stimulus package, which will put more money back into the US economy and to, you know, American people. So that is good news for the US dollar. So everything right now is definitely looking to go back up as we push into the month of June. It's taken 6 months really for the US dollar to rebound, although it did start to rebound at the beginning of the year, but now is really starting to finally pick back up. So what do we do this week? Okay, I know I rambled enough, but for this week you can both buy and sell. Okay, all that just to tell you that. Okay, now I say both buy and sell, but do take note that the price will be going up more than it's going to be dropping. Okay, we should see the price go up and down with a slight uptrend. Okay, so if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, look at this. You know, you have a buy signal followed by another buy signal. Okay, and then a sell. Right now it shows the sell, but I would not sell right now. Okay, I would wait until the next buy signal and then place your trade. Okay, and then close it on the next red arrow, and you can if you get another red arrow, you can sell. Okay, just keep in mind that the price will be going up this week. Okay, moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Okay, also another good sign that the US dollar is rebounding. Okay, we see the price ended a lot higher than where it began, and that yes is starting to slowly trickle up. Right now we see the price went sideways here, so we see the price go up. Actually, it was going sideways, went up, sideways. That's what US, at least the US dollar Japanese yen typically does. Okay, it'll go sideways for a while, up, sideways, up, like that. Or if it's going in a downtrend, it'll go sideways, down, like that. It's kind of an interesting currency pair, but that's what typically what I see with the US dollar Japanese yen. If we look here on the 4-hour chart, we got a strong signal to sell. Now we got a signal to sell here, okay, and I was anticipating to get a blue arrow somewhere in here. Okay, never did, never happened. So, oh well, it is what it is. You know, I had marked this before in a previous video and show you that this is the low point where we should see a blue arrow. Okay, would have been nice if we had a blue arrow here at this point, but we did not. So naturally I would assume that okay, it's going to drop down here. Well, guess what? US dollar picked back up. Now we have another red arrow. So wow, okay, I'm shocked. Not really shocked, but it is what it is. Now the daily chart, wow, interesting. Again, we have a signal to sell and no blue arrow. The US dollar Japanese yen, generally speaking, has not an inverse, but I don't know what these call it, almost inverse relationship, almost opposite relationship to the US dollar Swiss franc. Okay, so I think this US dollar Japanese yen is going to be headed back down this week. Okay, why? I don't know, just a funny feeling. Okay, now we see here on the weekly chart that it's wanting to go up. Okay, we got 2 red arrows on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we need another blue arrow. Okay, now if we look here at this red arrow, okay, generally in Forex the past is going to repeat itself. Okay, excuse me. So we had the price drop here. We had a big surge here. Well, actually we had a price drop, surge, price drop, surge, price drop. Okay, that's why I'm thinking the price is going to drop this week. Okay, for most of this week we should see the price drop. Don't quote me on it, I'm not a fortune teller, but based on my experience and what I've seen in the Forex market, I really strongly feel that this will be dropping this week. Okay, look at the 1-hour chart. It shows the sell. 30-minute shows the sell. Okay, daily shows the sell. Wow. So only the weekly shows the buy, which the bigger the time frame, the stronger the signal. The monthly I'm not too concerned about. I know the monthly shows the sell, but that's just so far out. Okay, but the weekly is what, you know, I'm concerned about. Here you have a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow but no red arrow. Where the heck is the friggin' red arrow? Okay, this was, last red arrow was, wow, ching ching, back in 2015. Wow, 6 years ago. So we need another red arrow. Okay, even if the red arrow was formed up here or somewhere in here, I don't know. It's going to take time. Okay, this is a weekly chart and in 6 years hasn't formed a red arrow, so I don't know, it might take another 6 years, but I think sometime this year we're going to see a red arrow. And if you look at the monthly chart, we have no blue arrow, meaning that we need to form a blue arrow. Okay, so that's just going to take a long time, but anyhow, we need to form a red arrow first on the, we got 3 blue arrows in a row actually, so we need to get a red arrow on the weekly chart. Okay, and it's not going to go way up high and do that. Okay, what my best guess is that it will form a red arrow here or here. Okay, somewhere right in there. Okay, probably there. So we need the price to go up, okay, within the next couple months. Okay, and the US dollar is definitely gaining right now. Okay, but you know, this pair for whatever reason likes to go down, not up, if all the other USD pairs are going up. So I know it's kind of confusing. Okay, that's why US dollar Japanese yen is kind of tricky to trade for a lot of people. But anyhow, we can see a range of market here on the 4-hour chart, and we should see a continuation of that this week. Okay, so if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, okay, it'll be safe to both buy and sell. I think the price will be dropping more than it'll be gaining. Okay, look here on the 30-minute chart, we had a big gain. Okay, at the end of the week. Now it's getting ready for the price to come back down. Okay, it could go up more, and like I always say, wait until the New York session on Monday before you place any trades. Okay, so moving on to US dollar versus Canadian dollar, the last pair, and we see here again we had pretty much a flat range of market. The price ended almost exactly where it began. So, but we did have a pretty good spike up. So that's a pretty good indication that the US dollar is starting to cook again, starting to come back up. Now let's look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart shows pretty much a flat range of market for the last week or two. Okay, the last couple weeks actually, and that's okay. That's okay, because the Canadian dollar and the US dollar are closely connected. Okay, they're both in North America and they're both dependent on oil for energy. So their economies are very much similar, and they're both very strong currencies. US dollar is stronger, of course, but with the US dollar been so weak lately, you know, the Canadian dollar has taken advantage of that, and I don't know, we should be seeing the price go back up now. You do see right here that we have a blue arrow, no red arrow. Yes, it is very possible to have another blue arrow even lower. Okay, it does happen. Okay, if we look in the past, I was trying to see. Well, here we have a red arrow followed by even higher red arrow. So the same thing can happen with the blue arrow. Okay, we have a blue arrow followed by slightly lower, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, when you see a big drop like this and then a flat range of market, that generally shows a reversal. Okay, not always, but generally that's what it shows. Okay, and I'm trying to look in the past here, give an example. The price went up right here and then went sideways and then dropped. Price went up here, went sideways and then dropped. You know, the price, price went up here, went sideways and then dropped. So price dropped, goes sideways and back up. So that's how it works. Okay, so when the price is moving sideways, that's called a range of market, and that generally indicates that there's getting ready to be a reversal, because there's a lot of indecision in the market. The bulls that want to go up, the bears that want to go down, they're all fighting. They don't know which way to go, and in the end, one of the two is going to win. But since we had the previous direction was down, the next direction is going to be back up. Okay, so we usually have a reversal in the market. Not always, but generally speaking. Okay, also here on the daily chart, look at this. We have a blue arrow followed by, whoa, a much lower blue arrow, right? Damn. So, whew, I didn't know that was going to happen like that. Okay, but it's okay. It happens. Okay, it's Forex. But generally speaking, not always. There could be a third lower blue arrow, but highly unlikely. Okay, the next arrow should be a red arrow. Okay, I don't know where it's going to form. Okay, I have no idea, but the price is going to be going up. It's going to take a long time. Do not think that the price is going to start shooting up. Okay, we're waiting on the U.S. government to start issuing a fourth stimulus. It's not going to happen until probably the end of June, July time frame. Okay, so you're looking at about another month almost before that fourth stimulus money starts getting out to Americans. Okay, and then my nose is itching. Then, you know, it's going to take even more time really for the, you know, things to fully recover. We're still in a pandemic. Okay, they're talking about by the end of summer stopping the pandemic. I don't know, or continue the pandemic through December. Of course, we all know this pandemic is a government sponsored idea. This is not a true pandemic, but hey, who am I, right? I'm just here talking about Forex. What do I know about pandemics? All I know is that we are still in a pandemic. Okay, the government has not stopped the pandemic. So I don't know. Until the pandemic is stopped, I don't think the economy is going to fully recover. Okay, it's going to take time. Okay, but it is already starting to show signs that it's going to recover. Okay, hopefully this Friday we have a good unemployment report for the non-farm payroll, and we'll start seeing that US dollar bounce back up. So what did we do this week for USD Cad? Well, if we look at the 30-minute chart, bam, I already showed you that it's running in a sideways fashion. Okay, where the price ended pretty much where it began, right? So this week we should see a continuation of that. I think the price is going to end higher than where it began, and we're probably going to see a slight uptrend, but it will be safe to both buy and sell. Okay, using a 30-minute time frame, you could use a 15-minute time frame also. There's not a huge difference between the two. Okay, but if you want to put on the 15-minute time frame, that's perfectly fine. Okay, it might be even more effective since we're in a tight range of market right now. Okay, but anyhow, let me know if you have any questions or comments about these predictions, or if you have any other currency pair that you want me to analyze. Okay, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below, okay, for my personal Facebook. Okay, and then you can contact me there, or you can contact my private Facebook group. You can join my Facebook group, which I put a link in the description for that as well. Okay, and this way you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and we can all collaborate as a team. Okay, but please do reach out to me first and chat to me on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to help you. I get dozens of people chatting to me every single day. That's where most of my time has been consumed lately, but it's okay. Okay, that's what I do. That's what I love to do, not sleep. So anyhow, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and feel free to share this with other people. And then let me know if you have any questions. Thank you and have a wonderful week.